Hello, I'm Scott Meter, the manager of the Western Montana Fairgrounds.
I'm Jim Sadler, superintendent of the Floriculture Building.
And we're here today to give you a rundown of what we have at our 2003 Western Montana Fair. I'd like to start with our grandstand entertainment this year at the fairgrounds. Tuesday night we're going to have the Bolorama in town.
Oh, okay.
We'll have all those cowboys riding those ornery bulls in the arena. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday we're going to have the PRCA rodeo in town.
What's that mean, PRCA?
Professional Rodeo Association.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have the best of the best right here in Missoula, Montana those 3 nights for everybody to come and enjoy in the grandstand.
Oh, yeah?
And then we're changing it up this year a little bit, Jim. We're going to do a classic rock concert Saturday night.
Oh, okay. I love rock.
Yeah, we've got Steppenwolf coming back.
It's my era.
So we're going to have fun Saturday night with Steppenwolf. And then Sunday, of course, we finish it off with the Demolition Derby.
Okay.
We should have 45 cars there this year. I believe it's a field of 45, and smash and bash them up on Sunday.
Okay, great. And we have lots of exhibits and things at the fair. We have the 4-H and the FFA with their cattle, all their exhibits. And we have the crafters and the quilters and the photographers. They all have their wonderful displays there, and the painters. And of course, we have at the Floriculture Building, we put on 4 shows this year.
Exactly.
We have a standard show, where you have all the regular flowers that come in. Then on Saturday, we have dahlias and an orchid show, which is new this year. And on Sunday, we have a rose show. So all should be quite exciting.
Oh, it's going to be busy out there this week, Jim. And we can't forget, we have all the food booths.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love the food booths.
Oh, me too.
You got to have those tater pigs.
Yeah. And Sons of Norway. We also have the commercial booths. We have the historic commercial building is full this year, upstairs and downstairs of commercial exhibits.
Right.
We have Mercantile Alley, which is full. We have the West Lot that is full. We have exciting things coming. We've got an F-16 fighter jet, a full-size fighter jet that's going to be at our fair this year. We have the wonderful carnival.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to forget the carnival. And the theme of the fair this year is fair skies. Are you predicting fair skies?
I'm predicting fair skies. I hope the weathermen are predicting fair skies. You know, we need fair skies for those horses to run. And
for the flowers, because there's been years in which we've had hail 2 or 3 days before the fair, and we've lost everything.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to have a shredded pansy and then judge it, but we do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just bring your stuff in no matter what condition, because it's just a matter of participation.
Exactly.
Because it's all about family, all about community participation.
Exactly.
That's what our fair is about.
Yeah, this is one time a year that everybody can get together and come to the fairgrounds, and you get to see 6 days of live parimutuel racing. We've got the carnival, we've got the food, we've got the crafters, we've got the exhibits, floriculture. We just got everything happening that week, and it's August 5th through the 10th, that week down at the fairgrounds.
Right. We've been there for 120 years.
That's right, and we're still going strong.
Okay.
You can check us out on the webpage. It's www.westernmontanafair.com. We're online now.
Oh, good.
Or give us a call down at the office at 721-3247. You got anything else, Jim?
No, I just want to welcome everybody, and please come.
Yeah, come on out to the fair and have a great time. Thanks a lot.
Hello there, I'm Carolyn Richardson, and we are here representing Western Montana Fair. I'd like to introduce you to Peggy Holt. Peggy is from the Missoula Quilting Guild, right?
Correct.
Yes. And she's going to explain to you a little bit about what the judges are looking for in home arts. That's your quilts, your needlework, hanging pictures that have been crocheted and embroidered.
That's
and
correct.
that sort of thing. This is, the Home Arts Department is very new to me, and so we're going to learn about this together. But first of all, I wanted to mention to those of you who are outside of the Missoula area that this is the Western Montana Fair, not the Missoula County Fair or the Missoula City Fair, but Western Montana Fair. We cover 7 counties, all the way from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state, east and west in the western area. We would like to see items coming into the Home Arts Department from all over our beautiful Western Montana. Peggy, can you tell us a little bit about what the judges are looking for in the quilts?
Actually, no matter what area you're working in the home arts department, if it's the quilting or if you're working with the home sewing, it really doesn't matter. The very first thing that a judge is going to be looking for is the general appearance. And they're going to be looking for, in general, is it clean? Does it have a showmanship condition to it? That means free of your pet hair, free of smoke, no stains on it, so that it is a pristine situation and in that kind of condition. So they will always look for those things first. What is the initial impact of the item that they are looking at? Then they'll go into the workmanship a little bit. And that will probably be where the major part of your judging will take place. And in this area, then they're looking for loose threads, they're looking for evenness of tension. Have the stitches all been made equally long or short? In particular, in the quilting, they're going to be looking for sharp points. They're going to look for square corners, which all indicate precision in cutting or in planning. They'll look at overall color to see that things are lovely balanced and the color will be carried through properly on a quilt. They'll look for puckers or pleats where it indicates that they've not been pressed well. Pressing is one of those really important areas of quilting in particular. If they're not pressed well, then you get pleats, you get lack of precision points, so we're looking for those kinds of things. In the needlework where you're talking about...
Like this beautiful cover on,
yeah,
on
yes,
the table here?
This is knitted lace tablecloth, and this is one that's not blocked. Again, the little one here is not blocked, but these are these places they're looking for. Again, an evenness of tension in the thread, a difficulty of the design. There are so many beautiful things out there these days that the women are doing that we have to start looking for things that set one apart from another. So we will look for instance, the fineness of the thread. And we have some different things here. This one is done with a little heavier thread, whereas this one's done with an extremely fine thread. And if all other things were equal in that judging category and you had two things that were really perfectly done, you would probably go to the blue ribbon with the one that was done with a finer thread because it is more difficult to handle than something that is a little bit heavier. So we're watching for those kinds of things, something that makes it unique or stands out different from the rest of the class. The fineness of the thread we've discussed, but if we're talking about needle art, where we're talking about this will be your cross stitch, crewel embroidery, needlepoint. Again, there are certain things that we're looking for. We're always looking for them to be professionally finished. Even if you personally finish them, do your own framing, it still needs to look professional. So consequently, we're looking for straight lines on the background fabric. I think you can see this piece over here is a linen piece. And that one we're looking for to have very straight lines in the matting. Backings should be, mattings and frames should all enhance the work. So
I see you have a very good hook on the back here.
there is a very substantial hook on the back, and you
Yeah.
might also notice on the back of that it's covered in muslin as
Oh, yes, I
opposed
saw
to
that.
the paper.
Yes, here.
We try to encourage people to do that because the paper encloses the entire work, and if it is not allowed to breathe, it will become brittle. So unless you have used really good archival types of papers, which normally they do use today, we still recommend that you are putting on the muslin. That will not be judged against you one way or another, paper or the muslin works. However, this one on the back is not finished, and that would be judged down if you got to a place where, oh my gosh, these are exactly alike, what am I going to do? Well, then you begin to look to see how they presented their work and what they did to make it stand out a little bit more. So we watch for those kinds of things. The home sewing, again, we're working with techniques an awful lot.
This is your
there.
dresses, shirts,
Yes.
pants, bathing suits.
Pillows, children's
Right.
clothing, all of that category. There will be specific things that the judges will be looking for at specific times and in specific categories. If it's a child's garment, they're probably going to be looking more for construction that is sturdy. In any garment, they're going to be looking for tension of the threads so that the bobbin and the upper threads are balanced. Anytime those are not balanced, if your tension is bad, your seams will pop. And that's pretty much an indication that the home sewer did not pay attention to her tension, and she needs to adjust those kinds of things. Looking to make sure that such things as interfacings are appropriate, finishing of hem lines, trims. So those are all just real general. Now then, what sets one apart from another. If you have two pieces that are equal, in a quilt, a judge is going to look to see what you've done that's different. You know, have you found a really marvelous color combination that's different from the norm? Have you maybe tied it in such a way so that the ties make a pattern, or have you used thread as opposed to yarn? Anything that sets it apart and makes it more interesting or makes it look like you have given it some thought.
Now, the quilt right behind your head
Yes,
here.
this one here.
This one here. That was the grand champion winner last year.
Yes.
And can you tell us what may have been some of the reasons for that particular quilt?
This quilt is a marvelous execution, for one thing. The colors have been chosen with care. The background has been something other than what you would normally expect, a white background. Debbie had taken the time to choose something that really fit in with her colors. She has had it professionally quilted, and the quilter did some wonderful textural things to bring the quilt alive. I know a lot of people will discuss professional quilting as opposed to the home quilter. And as a judge, we watch for those things, and we are aware that there is a difference between them, but we also are aware that the home sewer is capable of giving a professional look to her quilting just as well as the professional quilter is. There are some things that your home machine cannot do, but there are also some things that the larger machines are not able to do, so they balance out pretty much. So I think overall, if this is a pleasing quilt, it draws your eye. She has used color she has executed it technically very well. And then she has taken the time to have it quilted in such a way that it enhances the entire quilt. So all of these that are behind us have been professionally quilted. You will not be judged down if it's not been professionally quilted. If you've done a good job of your home sewing quilting, there have been times that a home sewn quilted quilt will take precedence over another one. So it isn't necessarily something that is going to make a difference in the judging, but it does enhance it. So that's probably why Debbie had done this one. It's a beautiful quilt, and it is certainly worthy of that honor.
Hello, my name is Shirley Marshall, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the department that I'm involved in with the Western Montana Fair. Western Montana Fair encompasses the entire western part of the state. I believe 7 counties from right up against the Canadian border, clear down to the Idaho border on this side. We are looking for people to please enter. We have so many wonderful things going on throughout the fair, and I'm here to tell you about the ceramic department. Our department is in the same building with Home Arts. We share the building. And my part of it is the ceramic division. In ceramics, we have not only ceramics, we have china painting, we have the ceramics, of course. We also have pottery and dolls. Dolls are the big thing now. They're very, very popular. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the judging process of all of these aspects. Let's begin with the ceramic part of it. what a judge is looking for in the ceramic division is cleanliness. These are all molded in molds. The clay is poured wet into a mold, and then it's dried for a certain length of time, and then unmolded. What the judges look for primarily is seam marks, and you can pretty well tell where the seam would run in these. And when they come out, they have to be hand cleaned, and you should not see any mold marks or seams any place in this piece. They will also look at the bottom of a piece, and that's very important. A lot of ceramists forget to clean the bottom of their pieces, and they do mark them down drastically. They will look for adaptation of color, how well the colors would blend with this particular piece. This piece is a little bit unique in that it is made of ceramic, again molded, so the judges look for the mold mark, and of course there aren't any. So this piece judged very highly. The bottom is clean. You can't see any mold marks there, or even stilt marks. But this piece, after it was glazed, was actually china painted. So we have two different, totally different techniques involved in this. The dog and the background was china painted after all of this, the ceramic piece itself, was fired and glazed. So this lady got a very nice ribbon on this particular piece. This piece was very difficult for this person to clean, in that you have all of the little feather divisions within this swan's wings. And there is not one area where you can see a seam mark, nothing. So this piece also got a very nice ribbon. Now let's move on to the china painting. China painting is done on bone china, or it can be hand-poured bisque. This piece actually is a Bavarian tray. It was hand-painted and fired many times to attain the depth. What the judge will be looking for in a piece like this is the contrast. Not only in the leaves, the flowers, but the background also, so that you have a pleasing contrast. In a perfect china painted piece, you should be able to see at least 5 values. In other words, differences in the shade of color, going from the lightest to the darkest. And china painting, that's how we do our pieces. We range from the lightest value, we start with that lightest value, and then with each successive firing, we go a little darker in the shaded areas. This piece, incidentally, is part of a tea set. Okay, dolls. Dolls are a little different in that all of our dolls are hand-poured. They are then hand-painted. And what the judges will look for in a doll, especially one like this, she is an entirely china doll. Her entire body is china. What they will look for, and I'd take the suit off, but she doesn't have an undie on, so. They will look for how well the legs and the arms fit within the sockets. If there are any rough areas where it might hang up or cause chipping, they will look for that. Then they go to the painting, and they'll look at the little faces. And this piece was done by a very elderly, dear little friend of mine in Portland, Oregon. And if you can see really close, her eyesight is not all that well any longer, so her eyebrows are quite heavy, and her eyes, her little lashes aren't quite perfect. But because of this lady's age, at our China show in Portland, she got a blue ribbon on this. This particular one, the head was hand-painted and then fitted within the stuffed toy's body. This was done by a professional. And in judging something like this, they would look on, now this one has different eyes. These are glass eyes. And what the judge would look at in this particular one would be, are the eye sockets identical? Is one larger? Is one smaller? Are they offset or are they perfect? These are actually artificial little eyelashes. The judge would look to see, do I see glue on that eyelash? Is it perfectly aligned? Is the color on the lips, on the cheeks, does it fit well with the way this person has used this head? And she would have received a very high score on this. Another part of china painting is the glass, the traditional old-fashioned glass lamps. And we have a separate category for the glass. Serviceable pieces such as this, tableware glasses, water glasses, all of that can be hand painted. In this department, we have categories for very young children. We've had entries age 2.5 on up. We have handicap division, we have senior citizen divisions, and even those we break down so that the younger seniors can have a chance also. So there are cash prizes, of course. So we're encouraging everyone, please come on down.
I'm Carolyn Richardson, and I have with me here Janelle Sancelli, and we're representing at this moment the Fine Arts Department of Western Montana Fair. Your fair, the fair for all the people of Western Montana. The Fine Arts, of course, deals with the paintings, your oils, your acrylics, watercolors, drawings, pencils, ink. We'll also have pottery and leatherwork, woodwork. Mention
Some sculpturing,
that's right. There
woodworking,
are woodworking, furniture.
furniture, that's right.
And it's open class, men, women, and children. One of the things that we wanted to mention to you is that it's important that your item be sturdy enough to hang. It says in the book that it should be matted, should have a good hook on the back, and possibly, if you can, framed. We had a tendency last year to receive a lot of children's items that were just on flimsy paper. Well, there are no rules against that, but they did continually fall off the wall.
If you can take the time and spend a couple of dollars, it's really worthwhile to take your child's artwork and have it shrink wrapped or even laminated. You can go to your local print shop, sometimes your schools. If you have a chance to go by your kids' school, you can actually have some of their stuff laminated there, and it will hold up to the constant traffic and public viewing much, much better than if it's just the bare paper.
People love to touch. It is a crowded area. You know, you have sometimes large crowds, 2 or 3 people abreast walking through will bump these items, knock them off the walls. You'll see here some items that received ribbons last year, some that did not. We love to see all artwork, all hundreds and hundreds of pieces of artwork. The chicken down front here won a blue ribbon, the big rooster. That was a birthday present to me by my sister. And some of these items here, such as this one here, did not perhaps win, or this little boy's one here, a blue ribbon, but they were so unique to the crew, to myself, that sometimes these items will receive a special award, such as the MCH award, Makes Carolyn Happy.
Right.
This one received a Makes Carolyn Happy, as did this one. I remember the little boy that painted this picture. The moment he handed it to me, it really struck my heart. And though he did not receive perhaps a best of show, he certainly did with me. we just want to encourage you to enter the Fine Arts Building and make sure that the art is as sturdy as you can possibly get it to be when you bring it into us. This little boy here, when he brought this item in, I asked him if I could purchase it. And he talked it over with his family, and he told me yes, that he would sell this to me for $10. Of course, a child's piece, you might turn it around, Janelle, and show them. It's got a good sturdy hook on the back. It's not about to fall off the wall.
And that's really important. And if you do take your kids' artwork to some place, whether it's a craft store or whether it's a printer shop, usually they will put that hook on there for you at no additional charge. So that's really worthwhile to do because tape and such just doesn't hold up to the dust and the conditions of the fair.
Did you notice all the chickens, Janelle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am a one-dimension gatherer. I gather roosters, as you can see. Janelle, is there anything that you can think of that I may have forgotten?
No, just bring your art. And
All ages,
Yes.
from the age of 3 to 103.
yes,
Yes, and also special categories for the handicapped.
yes.
And we would like to see all of those items in. Oh, yes, and we do have. That is one thing that has
We
been
have a special
reminded.
category for people who have collections, whether it's coin collections,
That's right.
stamp collections,
Yes. Cars, little metal cars.
little cars, that's right.
Dolls.
Dolls,
One girl brought last year a collection of vintage clothing
that's right.
and antiques. We have an antique category.
Yes.
And so and we have a very safe place to keep them. So for you not to worry about your antiques. Actually, for you not to worry about any of your fine arts because the building is patrolled and cared for very closely. And we do hope to see you there at Western Montana Fair.